When you are a child that was conceived through an assault, the question is ever present, do I matter? Do I deserve to take up space? Will I ever be good enough? In the moment, pain never feels welcomed. It isn't whether or not you're going to face hardship, it's about your response to that hardship. Choosing an entrepreneurial lifestyle is not very common because it's a leap of faith.
What's up, beautiful people? You are listening to K108 in El Monte, California. It's a beautiful day out, so go enjoy it.
I don't know if it's necessarily common for people to have an I can attitude. I am a Latina, and we have a saying that's very common though, and it's si se puede. We live in possibility. I live in this space of anything can happen. I worked at multiple schools in the Los Angeles area, and I saw this problem over and over again. Not every student is going to be set up to go to a conventional schooling environment, and that's okay. Being an inclusive, equitable, and accessible micro school is something that I set out to do at the very beginning of my entrepreneurship journey. My grandma owned her own business in Los Angeles for over 35 years, and seeing her do that opened up my eyes to the possibility of having my own business. My mom has been one of the people that has inspired me the most. She is an incredibly strong woman. She's inspired me to do my own part.
I'm glad you got the pictures out, Lisa.
I know, me too. I haven't seen them in forever. Okay, let's see.
This is Mari's baby shower, and you organized it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're so talented.
Has Lizette always been a driven person?
Yes. I think my mom, being an entrepreneur herself, she was a good example.
Oh, this is good. This is in the backyard. That was right before we started our lemonade stand.
You already had good ideas to get into business.
So you were entrepreneurial since you were a little kid?
Yes, absolutely. The entrepreneurial spirit right here. Growing up in Almani in the 90s, I don't think that most kids thought that entrepreneurship was a viable option. There was always this concern about gang activity. There was a lot of drugs. There was a lot of abortions happening. And once I found out my origin story, I always thought that I had monster's blood running through my veins. Because the way that I was conceived, it was through sexual assault. I always questioned, where's my dad? Why don't I have a dad? I was really, really struggling to find my place, trying to figure out where I belonged. My grandma and my mom, they did their very best to cocoon me, to shield me. However, the trauma was already there. But growing up, I knew that I did not want to be whatever statistic I was supposed to be. I was not going to follow in the footsteps of those who went before me in a negative way. The blood that's running through my veins does not dictate my future. And that is how I have lived my life. I want to live in a life-giving, intentional manner, and that's exactly what I have pursued.
The moral of her story is perseverance. and grit and tenacity, faithfulness to the calling that she has in her life. She's never given up once. And whenever she has a vision to pursue something new, nothing stops her.
My life has been marked with so many incredible moments of deep transformation, and how that manifests oftentimes is through creating new spaces, healing spaces, physical spaces. And one of those areas was the renovation of an RV that my husband and I undertook. We used it for family trips, and we used it with our micro-schooling students, and then eventually we sold it to a single mom and her daughter, and they're currently road schooling. I was able to write a bilingual children's book, and I think delving into all of these different entrepreneurial endeavors has really opened my eyes to see how can I contribute to the world.
The thing that makes a difference for a young person is what I call the sense of personal agency. They have this belief that they can lead a self-determined life. And in my experience, if they've been able to form a strong family, be part of a strong faith community, and have strong access to education, that has usually led to some kind of entrepreneurial mindset where they have a problem-solving mentality or approach to their own life.
I've never met anybody with such a vision of all things being possible. Her story has been a story of just resilience, and in that resilience, taking it for what it is and just knowing what God has for her and being able to see there's something better.
The hardships have served as the greatest catalyst for me to accomplish so many of my goals. And I think that's the most beautiful part, that in the midst of the breaking, there is a molding and a reshaping. And we see this in nature all the time. We see this pruning and this dying and then this rebirth. Because of that pain, that suffering, there is this demand for beauty to be birthed.
I'm very proud of you, Lisette. Not only as a wife, as a mother, as a teacher. Not only you're a person of faith, but you apply it in everything that you do, and that makes me very proud. I love you.
I love you more. You may not know that you want to be an entrepreneur. I certainly did not know. But we need how you see the world, and we need your perspective, because that perspective will then touch someone else that your neighbor will not be able to reach. You have been given a sphere of influence, whether you know it or not. Your origin story is a part of your story, but it's not your whole story. And fusing the entrepreneurial spirit with your unique talents and giftings is magic, because there's no one else that is going to be able to show up in this world the way that you can. And you can begin that journey by asking yourself two simple questions. What problem do I see in the world? And what solution can I create to fix that problem?